hand over to Darren, who's going to talk about how he uses Apple stuff at work.
Okay. This is a picture of my work setup with Monkey. Did this at the last minute, so I'm going to have to wing it all, but I'll just point out a few things.
Tell everyone where you work might help.
Yes, that's a good idea. I work at Examug University, same place as John. I'm one of the development guys there. I develop various things, do mostly PC development. But I also develop other things, Apple-y shaped things. I'm probably one of the Apple, I wouldn't say guru as such, but sort of one of the go-to people in IT, I suppose, for Apple-y type stuff. So this is an Apple-friendly zone. This is my main computer. Oops, I should use this, shouldn't I? This is my main computer underneath the Monkey. That is my MacBook Pro. Quite high spec. It's got an SSD in there, and I think it's about 8 gig of RAM in there as well. And it's fabulously quick. For instance, when I come in the morning, turn on my machine, it takes between 3 and 5 seconds to boot. And then I log in and I'm in there. So there's my Yosemite desktop. I'll come back to that in a minute. But I'm not going to see a few other bits and pieces. This little unit is quite interesting. I do some iPad deployment.
Excuse me, could you come back to
Yes, sorry.
Thank you.
This little doohickey down the side there is actually a USB hub, a 10-port USB 3 hub. I do some iPad development as well. So that will enable me to plug in 10 iPads and click a button and provision them to a build that I might make to give out to people and so on. Which that's currently in use at the university. So if you visit and you go into the forum, and some people come up to ask you how you're doing and what do you need to know, they'll have some iPads with them and they'll work out some stuff for you. That's what I've built. So that's the sort of thing I do. And that just allows me to build 10 iPads at a time. You have to actually plug them in. So I've got a standard Dell monitor there for any decent. What else have I got? Just under here on the stand there is a little hard disk. That's my Time Machine backup. So I just have that backing up if I need to do some software updates. So that's pretty much my computer setup, which is actually a laptop, which doesn't usually move, but it's a very nice setup. I'll show you a bit later on what I do with the desktops with the OS as well. But, so
what screen is that? What
sorry, the screen. That's just a bog standard Dell. It's not the top of the range ultra sharps because they're very expensive. So it's nowhere near as good as my actual iMac at home. Display wise, it's the colours are nowhere near as good. It's not colour accurate either, so if I had to do any graphics work or colour work, I might get the odd strange blotch up here.
Can I ask a couple of questions?
Yeah.
Sorry, we're on that page. Why the wired keyboard? And do you use the number pad much? And
I have a wireless keyboard, although I did actually kill it by cleaning it. So it's currently hiding away in a drawer, ready for me to get out and sort of like, because I don't like wires really, and I'm trying to minimise all the wires.
yeah, I much prefer the number pad though.
Yeah.
I think I do quite.
Yes,
a lot
the
of
number pad is very
stuff.
useful, but I do prefer the mini wireless keyboard. Unfortunately, I've killed it, but I'll resurrect it at some point, I think. So that's that. Moving around a little bit, I also have a MacBook Air. Let's see, now that's our test machine, our destruction machine. So when I'm developing various bits and pieces and we want to throw something at the Mac to test it, I can wipe it and then restore it from backup so that we can do some testing. And if it all goes horribly wrong, I could just wipe it and restore it again. So that's our test machine. Here are 3 iPads of different colours there. So that's the test iPads I use for development. We loan some out as well for shows. So if someone's running a little bit of a show and they want to show up a video, I've set up a special iPad build, so that it includes every app and type of thing anyone is ever likely to want to do. So it just includes everything, so that when I loan it out, anyone can use that for any task. So that's groovy. Nice healthy fruit bar there.
Yeah, He removed the Maltesers from it just for the photo.
R2D2 looking over that.
Oh wow.
This is a PC. Uh-oh.
Is that what they look like?
I have my Mac laptop and my PC, which runs my Mac runs Yosemite and my PC runs Windows 8. They are both connected, so they're sort of married to each other. They have a very harmonious relationship, which I'll show you a little bit later on.
Is it a registry office?
It would be, that would actually work, wouldn't it?
But, yeah, it wouldn't be a church wedding, would it?
But that's my PC, which I hired away under the desk, but it's available on my Mac, and I'll show you how to do that a bit later on. This is my Mac desktop, which is running Yosemite, and this is just one of the screens. I have, this controls my PCs, which are also displayed on the Mac, so I use all my operating systems at once on one display. So although I have one display, I actually use 6 different operating systems, including mobile operating systems. So I see the Mac on one, PC on another, and say an iPhone development system on one screen, and then a Windows Phone development system on another screen, and so on. And that's all controlled through here. It's just remote desktops. The planet there, you see, that's a background image that's live. You won't see it move now, but as the day goes by, the sun moves around the planet, and you can see where people are actually asleep and not available yet. So, for instance, if I'm talking to someone in the States, I can see in the morning that I'm not going to speak to anyone because they're all asleep.
Are the weather systems live as well?
And the weather system is live. Those clouds are live as well. So,
what's that from, please, Darren?
that's just an app. What I'll do is I'll put down a list of the stuff that I'm using on my desktop, so you can. It's just an app available in the App Store. So it's actually pretty good, actually. So that's my one desktop. So I also have connections down here for all my network drives that I use. So I have my shared drives that I use with my PCs and so on, and Linux systems, because I do Linux stuff as well on here. And my choice list of apps on my dock there, which I'll tell what they are, so you can see the sort of thing that I have on there. This is the so the desktop you just saw was desktop number 3. So I'm a big user of virtual desktops. So that means that each screen or desktop can have a set of tasks that I use. So, for instance, desktop 1 I use for all my communications. Desktop 2 is my web stuff. Desktop 3 is anything I choose, really. Desktop 4 and 5 are my remote systems, so that's where Windows 8 comes in. So the computer on the floor, its screen is being shown on the Mac on desktop number 4. So whenever I want to, I can switch between Mac desktops, Windows desktops, Linux desktops, and all sorts. So that's mainly what I use the remote desktops for. And the one right at the end is my main server, that's a Windows 2008 server. So there you go. I've got Macs in screens here, I've got Windows 8 over here, and I've got Windows Server 2000 over there, 2008.
So when you're, say, into the Windows one, are you still using the same keyboard?
Exactly.
Because it's plugged in?
So the keyboard and mouse is plugged into the Mac. The PC displays all of its output in one of my virtual desktops. So I use one screen desktop keyboard and mouse to control everything. So if I'm running a virtual Linux machine on my Windows machine that's displayed on my Mac, I'm running 3 machines. But using just one keyboard and mouse to control it.
What are you using for the remote?
That's just Microsoft Remote Desktop, which is
Right.
again available in the App Store. So I just run that. I also have a Mac VNC client, and VNC is like Microsoft Remote Desktop, but for Macs and for Linux. No, it's not doing that. It's a remote desktop is just showing you what a real computer's output would be on a desktop. It's not actually emulating a computer or doing that sort of thing. So So there's a little look at what I have on my desktop. You guys got any questions about sort of things I get up to?
No,
How long did it take you to get this set up?
Not very. That's a very good question. Not very long at all, because everything I'm using here is built into the operating system. So this is just one quick free download. I could actually set this up in a few minutes using anyone's computer, because all I have to do is tick a couple of boxes to say use virtual desktops, which is also called mission control if you see mission control in your system preferences. And then the other thing is just Microsoft Remote Desktop, which is a quick download. Type my server names in, so I could set it up on your laptop now in about 10 minutes if I was on our work network. So it doesn't take very long at all to set this up. It's just using what's built into the OS.
Thank you very much. A very technical.
Very technical. Sorry, I did go.
Review of how they used to work. So don't let anyone tell you the Macs can't be used to work.
Yes.
That's very cool.
the name of the app?
Microsoft Remote Desktop. Oh, the Planet app.
Planet app.
I shall give you a list.
Yeah.